Hello, and welcome to the Chit Chat with HappyJackJack podcast. I'm your host, Jackie Wachter, and I'm so happy that you're here. I've been having so much fun doing this podcast with you, and I'm really thankful for all of you who have been coming back week after week. So if you were here with us last week, we talked about habit trackers, and they're a phenomenal tool. I just learned about them last year, and we are actually doing a habit tracker challenge, and that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. So I'm getting so many people excited for the habit tracker challenge. I never expected men to get into it, but a lot of my girlfriends are texting me saying, hey, I got one for myself and my husband, and we're doing it together. So that's really cool, and lots of groups of friends, so that's fun too. So anyways, if you haven't ordered your habit tracker yet, you have a couple of days before January 1st rolls around the corner. It definitely will help you. You could still do the challenge if you don't have time to get one. But I will say that this one that I'm using, it's really simple and comprehensive. It's by La Mer, Lamare, and I just got it on Amazon. There are other ones. If you find one you think is cuter, great, go for it. This one just seemed pretty simple to me, and that's why I chose it. I also like that it's got weekly and monthly parts in addition to daily parts. So anyways, this is the one I'll be using. I highly recommend it, but choose whatever one you want. So yeah, the challenge is starting January 1st. And today we're going on Friday. It's actually like almost 1 a.m. right now that we're recording this because we were up watching the Browns game. And if you're from Cleveland, which I know a lot of you are, today is a day to get hype because our boys are taking us to the finals, and that is exciting. So I'm hype on that and hype on how many people want to do this habit tracker challenge with me. If you listened to the last podcast, I mentioned that it's something I tried in 2023. I'm not going to lie, it was challenging. That's why this is a challenge, because I was trying to instill all these habits into my morning routine and night routine that I, had always intended on adding into my routine, but didn't stick with. So one of the questions, I put up something on my Instagram today in the stories and asked for anyone's questions about the challenge. And so I'm going to go through a Q&A tonight and answer all the questions and tell you where to find all the information you need. So the first question I got was, what do I need? And you need a habit tracker. Like I said, if you can't get it day one, don't skip the challenge. Please, please, please do the challenge. Get out a piece of notebook paper. You can do that and then add it into your tracker when it comes in the mail. I also recommend getting a journal. Every year at the beginning, now habit trackers are different than goals. So that's what I'm going to talk about now. At the beginning of the year, I always write down my annual goals, like things I just want to see God do that year in my life, in my professional life, in my work life, in my relationships, things that I really want to see God do and help me with, and just goals, and those could be things for like starting to work out, starting to sign up for a marriage counselor. Maybe that's something as a goal for you this year. Or maybe it's, eating more salads or drinking enough water or, growing your business, all those things. That should all be in there. Little things, big things, all levels of those things could be in your goals. And when I do that list of goals, which goes in my journal, I do it almost like a prayer to God, and I make sure I revisit it and reread it frequently. So I try to reread it at least a couple times a month. But in the past, I've made the mistake of writing my goals in all different journals, and like it's my journal that I journal in all throughout the year. And then when I want to go back and look at my goals, they're kind of tricky to find. So this year, I'm starting something new that I recommend to you of getting just a goal journal that you can use for maybe 5 or 10 years. And every beginning of the year, you can write your annual goals, things you want to see God do that year in your life, and just put them in there. And then it'll be easier to look back and check on them each year. So that's something I recommend, is getting one journal that's just for goals. Okay, so those are 2 things you need. You're going to need the habit tracker and a journal. And then if you want more details, as another thing you need, you can sign up for my email. It's over on HappyJackJack.com. You can sign up for the email, and I've been sending emails this week with all the details. And another question I got was how to decide which habits to include or to track. It's a great question that someone sent me. And the way I decided I'm going to go over my habit tracker at the end. I'm going to go through what I wrote down for my goals. But the way I decided what to put on there is things that are habits that I haven't been able to stick with. I've, said I'm going to take my morning vitamins every day, and then I still am not doing it. So I put it on the habit tracker so I can actually keep track if I'm doing it or not, and then building it into your morning. I'm going to go over that later. So things that are little as taking your vitamins, or as big and hard as starting a morning routine. As big as hard as starting a workout routine. Like a couple of habits I have on here, like get everything prepped for the next day the night before. It's something I've never really stuck to. I've done parts of that, but the mornings can get chaotic. So I'm going to try in my habit tracker to prep everything, meaning like pack lunches, pack work bags, like get out snow clothes, all of those things for the kids, get outfits out the night before to make our mornings as smooth as possible. So whatever you want to put on there, you can put. Don't feel like it's too tiny or too big. I will say that like you'll see, even like a few days in, you'll start to see which ones are hard to stick with. My hardest one when I tried it the first time was be in bed by 10 because I always want to squeeze a little more into the day. So I'm going to really prioritize that one this time. So those are the kind of things you can put in there. Sorry, Coco's snoring. Where do you keep yours was another question I got. I keep mine on my dresser because the habits I'm trying to form are a lot around my morning routine and night routine. Just put it somewhere that you're going to see often. Maybe if some of this is included in your workday, you can put it in your briefcase. Maybe have a special spot for it so it doesn't get all beat up. But you can close it up and like it has a nice outer covering. Hanging on a wall. I just laid mine on my dresser, but you can hang it. It's got a spot where you can do that. So, okay. All right. Next question I got was, what if you have too many habits to fit? Yay! That's a great question. That means you've really got a lot of goals. I had the same problem. Some of my habits seemed so little that I combined them with other habits. So like for an example, on my commute to work, helps me with road rage if I've got something to do. I don't really have road rage, but like it just helps the commute go faster. So I have my jade roller in the car, and while I'm driving, I just do that with my one hand, while I'm driving, and then it just makes my ride go fast. So I'm listening to a learning podcast on the drive, and I'm doing my jade roller. And then look, presto, you're at work, no time flat. And then like on other lines, I combined things that could go together. I combined my nightly skincare routine and taking my vitamins. And this was so embarrassing. Facial gymnastics. That's true. Yes, I signed up for a facial gymnastics course. It's supposed to be great for your skin to like exercise those muscles in your face to avoid cosmetic surgery and things like that. So I'm combining my night routine into skincare, vitamins, and facial gymnastics. Anyways, if you have too many, you can combine them in things that you habit stack. That's something that James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits. He talks about habit stacking. I'm so sorry, I'm going to move Coco's neck. When her neck is sometimes in a funny position, she snores. Habit stacking is when there's a habit you're already doing. Like, I don't need to brush my teeth on my habit tracker because I already do that morning and night. It's like built into my routine. And as you perfect some of these things on your habit tracker, you can take them off. Next month, you're like, oh, that was no sweat. I washed my face every night before bed. I don't need to have it on the tracker anymore because it's just habitual. It's part of your routine now. So then you can add something different onto your habit tracker. But when you're habit stacking, like if I'm always brushing my teeth, I can habit stack something else on top of that to, make sure that those things go together in that order. So like for me, I had a college roommate that would habit stack brushing her teeth and doing leg lifts. at the same time because you're stuck there doing your teeth anyway for 2 minutes. So then while I'm doing brushing my teeth, I do 30 leg lifts on each side. Anyways, thanks Ashley. That one's from her. So that's kind of what if you don't have too many to fit? You can pair them up. I also added 2 more lines because I ran out of room and I really wanted to put my bedtime on there. Okay. When does it start? It starts so soon, 4 days, January 1st, whoop, whoop. But I highly, highly recommend doing this ahead of time, getting it ready so that January 1st, you're not like, oh, what are my habits? You're like rolling out the gate. January 1st, you wake up and habits are stacking. How long does the challenge go? Okay, great question. It's going to go, the first part of the challenge is a month. We're doing the month of January. At the end of the month of January, we thought it would be fun to throw a little live party, just like a Facebook Live, Instagram Live event where anyone who participates, we're going to jump on and people can share the habit they're most proud of themselves for keeping, and then like what was hard for them and what we learned, so it'll be a fun little maybe 15, 20, whatever, however, how much fun we're having, we can stay on there. And then in 1 year, I'd like to in next December, revisit it and see who's still with us, who's habit tracking and loving it, and what's just become so habitual for you. It's not on your habit tracker, and other things that you picked up along the way. Okay. So now I've got some tips for you on habit tracking, from my past experience, things I would recommend after trying it before. So definitely try not to miss a whole day. So let's say you miss your morning part, then I would try not to miss the whole day. Don't give yourself, grief about it. Just, it's okay if you miss the morning. Just suck it up, do the X's just so you can mark it, and then keep going through your day. But I would really try to pick it up where you left off. With that said, if some of your days get a day off, I forgot to add this. I'm going to add this now. So the first, I guess, will be a Sunday. This is something I learned later on. I added in the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday on these because if you want to give yourself 2 days off from your workout and you want to do that on Saturday, Sunday, or whatever days you want to do, then you can highlight it or give yourself a freebie box or whatever. Don't feel bad and feel like you need to put an X. Maybe you color it in instead because it's a free space for you. You don't need to put a dot or an X, if you weren't planning to do the habit on that day anyways. So that's something I would recommend. If you fall off the horse, just get back on, giddy up. It's okay. We're all doing it together. And there are times in the first month I tried to do this, I missed 6 days in a row, and I kind of got down on myself about that. I was so hard to stick with it. I'm exhausted by these habits. And then I kind of gave up. And then I was no, Jackie, get back on the horse. So, there it is. Okay. We already said this, get ready ahead of time, but a way that I recommend getting ready for it, I did mine in a Google Doc. I typed up tons of ideas and habits, and then I figured out how I could group them together, and then I put them in the order chronologically that you're going to be doing them in your day, because you want it to flow. I also highly recommend doing it in pencil because you're probably going to find, at least I did, the first time I did this, that things weren't in the order that was actually flowing for me, so I switched lines around. Additionally, I highly recommend putting times next to your habits to see what you can actually fit in the time you've got allotted. So yes, I highly recommend putting times. That really helped me out. That's something I added in about a week and a half into when I started doing this. Okay, use pencil. We said that. Okay, add days of the week to over here. We're going to get to that section. So now I'm going to go over mine. It's a little embarrassing to share your habits, but here we are just being vulnerable and having fun. So we're all going to have different ones, and I'm going to tell you what I put on mine. All right, at 6:30 a.m., I'm going to have my Bible study and journal. At 7 a.m., I'm going to work out and do a learning podcast while I work out. It's just a 20-minute workout. It's all I can handle at this time of my life. I would love to grow that one later. At 7:25, I switch the laundry and I help the kids with their final steps getting ready to school. At 7:45, I get myself ready and take my vitamins. At 8:15, I begin my commute to work and I do my jade roller and listen to a podcast on the ride. And then I do my makeup when I get to the parking lot. At 6:30 p.m. So now I drew a line here. I recommend this also. For me, mine's like morning and night, and then my work stuff is different. But however you want to categorize it, you might have some workday things in your habits. A lot of you probably do. Mine jumps down to evening. And so at 6:30 p.m., we go over the boys' chore charts and do their allowance and their homework. It's all kind of one thing. At 7:30 p.m., we start the bedtime routine. And so we read to all three boys, and 8 p.m. lights out. That is ambitious. It is hard, but I feel like it really helps with my kids' mood overall for the week if we can get lights out by 8. At 8:15, this is hard for me because I don't want to do it right away after I put the kids to bed, but I'm going to really try. This is a new habit for me. I'm going to tidy the house and prep for tomorrow. So that's like I said, making lunches, like checking backpacks, just checking backpacks, and like getting my outfit out, getting the kids' outfit out, getting my work bag ready. A lot of times I have like costume changes I have to take to Fount for like videos we have to shoot. So it's like in the morning, if I leave all that, it can take me an extra 45 minutes to get out of the house. So that's something I'm really going to work on. Also, I feel like if I prep the night before, my brain feels at ease when I go to bed. I'm not like subconsciously trying to remember things in my sleep, like don't forget to pack that extra outfit, or don't forget to sign the kids' homework folders, or don't forget they need winter gloves. You know, it will give you peace in your sleep if you do it the night before. So I need that peace when I sleep because I hate when I have uneasy rest. Okay, moving on. After I tidy the house and prep for tomorrow, I'm going to go over my planner and to-do list for tomorrow. This is something I tried to habit track last fall, and I stunk at this part. I was never in the mood to go over my planner and to-do list the night before. I was always so tired and didn't want to think about it, but it's something I'm going to really try. And hold me accountable. I'm going to try it this time. All right, at 9:30, I'm going to begin like my night routine, like skincare, take my vitamins, do facial gymnastics. It's only 15 minutes. If anybody wants to know what facial gymnastics is, I think I'm going to post about it because it's so funny. But this woman, she's 42 and she looks fantastic. She says she has no work done. So I'm going to try it. If it works for her, maybe it can work for me. So yeah, that's on there. It cracks me up. 9:50, that's when I'm going to brush my teeth, do my leg and arm workout. It's just like a little 5-minute thing, and be in bed by 10. That's hard for me. Being in bed by 10 is going to be hard, but I'm going to try. All right, now that's my daily. Over here, obviously, if it's the weekend and there's a party or we're going out, I'm not going to bed at 10. So then those are like the days you can highlight it and give yourself a free because you didn't even intend to do that one, okay? All right, now let's get over here to the weekly habits. This is something that I did do some adjusting on my last go at it. This, you can use it however you want. What I found helped me, because these are things I'm not planning to do every day, I wrote down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the reason I did that was because before I didn't have days for them and I wasn't doing them. Because I didn't like tell myself which day to stick to it, it sort of was the thing that got left behind. So on Monday, like while I'm cleaning, I'm going to call a pal for a phone date. It's one of my favorite things to do. I've got like my list of girlfriends that I call and just chit chat while I'm cleaning the house. So that's going to be like scheduled in on Mondays. Don't laugh at me, but I did schedule in sex for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Once you have kids and work and like everything else, it's really hard to squeeze it in. Like, and everybody's like tired. One person's tired one night, the other person's tired another night, and it's just like hard to pencil it in. So That's something Philip and I have found really works for us to like plan on it. And then you could know that you need to be ready for it. So Tuesday, Thursdays, we got it on the calendar. Wednesday, I set another phone day. Friday, that's my day off of work, like Fount work. So that's when I create content for this kind of fun stuff. Happy Jack Jack stuff. Saturday, clean the cars. It's like a great thing once a week to just make sure that all the junk's out of the cars. And then Philip takes them to go get washed. Sunday, water my plants. Okay, and then these are things, I don't know if this is a good way to organize them, but I just put post 3 to 5 times a week and then podcast once a week. And then I put tennis on there because I really want to start playing tennis this year. That's going to go in my goals in my new journal I'm getting. It's in the mail. Should be here soon. But tennis is like a hobby I want to start this year. And so I didn't sign up for it yet. So it's not going to start like Jan 1. But I do want to sign up for it. So hold me accountable. It's going on there. It'll be in there in February. All right, and then monthly habits. This is like things that I'm planning to do at least once a month. Right now there's only one box here. But what I'm thinking I'm going to do, if I do it more than once, I'll do another box and write a 2, 3, 4. So monthly habits. It's really hard for Philip and I to find time to go on a date night because his parents are out of town and then my parents are out of town for like 5 months of the year. So date nights are tricky, but we want to get better at it and do it at least once a month. Definitely easier in the summer months. Girls' night out. Love a girls' night out. That's easier to do because then Philip will watch the kids and then he gets the guys' night out and I watch the kids. Okay, micro needling. So my friend Kristen, once a month, we'll go over there and do that. So that's a monthly habit. And then boys' haircuts. I cut the boys' hair at home. It's not once a month I do. It's usually every 2 or 3. So I want to start to at least clean it up once a month. All right, so that is my habit tracker, guys. I'm excited to see and hear about what you have on yours. If you want to chat about it and all, if you still have questions or you just need encouragement, feel free to email me. All of that is on my website, HappyJackJack.com. That's all I really have for tonight, but I am so excited how many people are pumped about this challenge. And I just hope it's a blessing to you and your year. And that this might be the year that you start to do all those things that you said you wanted to do. If you're not familiar with Mel Robbins, she is kind of a thought leader right now. And I think the book that made her like famous got her on the maybe she was famous before that. When I learned about her was like 1, 2, 3 Magic, or it was something like that where you count and like the amount of time. So you'll get an idea and you'll be like, I should do my workout. And then you have 3 seconds to go start that workout before your body is like, I don't really want to. And then you'll come up with excuses why you don't want to. And it sort of is a way for you to be like, nope, it's on my habit tracker. This is my accountability partner. Like, this book is your accountability partner. I'm your accountability partner. Anyone you're doing this challenge with is your accountability partner. So this is your chance to like do these little habits and big habits that add up to big things. Tiny seeds grow mighty oaks, guys. So these tiny habits that we're starting are going to help us live more joyful, peaceful, happier, and more productive lives. And I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate all of you. I can't tell you how much fun I'm having doing this podcast. Like, encouraging people is one of my favorite things to do. So I'm just having a blast, and I can't thank you enough for being part of it. So cheers to you. Go get out there, jump on your Google Doc, start your habit list, and then get them all penciled in and get ready because we've got 4 days until the challenge begins. January 1st, good luck, and I'll see you next week on the podcast.